And welcome from over there once more. Episode number 9. Arne Wendt gets the privilege of number 9.
Number
9. Ladies and gentlemen, with great pleasure, I'd like to announce our ninth show, 5th or 6th guest, Arne Wendt.
Hello.
Hello, Arne. I don't know even, I gave you so much introduction on all the social media that went out. You'd think I'd have something planned on saying here. But, welcome, everybody. Glad you're here. We have been hanging out here, setting up.
Welcome.
We were biting at the bit. We were set up early, and we're sitting here just jamming on sounds.
Making weird sounds. That's what I do.
Yep. Here, I got something for you, Arne.
Yeah.
If I could figure out what I'm doing here.
That's cool. This is a neat setup you got, man.
It's fun.
It's very cool.
It's fun. Here, you're a keys kind of guy, so
excellent. I love it.
The world, and we got the green in the middle here. It's because my lighting keeps changing. Unbelievable.
Well, that's the ectoplasm.
I'm going to fix that. So, as we begin every show, the guest.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, my friend. Thank you for coming. And how did we meet? That's
you used to work at Sam Ash and Edison.
This is like a twofold story.
Yeah. Man, look at all the keyboards up there, man. That's pretty great. So Sam Ash and Edison in the late 80s, early 90s, you would see setups much like the keyboard screen behind me.
There, I just got rid of the green blob.
I remember seeing a mini Moog for sale there for $400. I didn't have $400. That was like 16.
Nearly 30 years ago.
My God.
That's nearly 30 years ago.
So you were working there, and I used to come in because Sam Ash was the cool store on the block. Well, and I was in Bridgewater, so it was a good 25-minute, 30-minute ride just to go there. But they had all the guitars and all the keyboards. I used to go in there, and I bought a synthesizer. My oldest brother said, "Look, if you join my wedding band, I will buy you a brand new synthesizer." Because at the time I was playing like a Yamaha DX27 and
FM synthesis.
Yeah, kind of dated sounding, but it was it's cool. So I said, all right. So we went to Sam Ash and I bought a Roland JV80 from Tolga Timere.
Rack or the keyboard?
The keyboard. Used it for years. I still have it.
Great unit.
Yeah. And I got mileage out of that, and then I got a Boss SE70 down the line that I used to plug it into.
That was a great job back in the day, and
What happened?
We can go into that. Go into that.
No,
that's
but
a whole nother
it's
show.
like corporations get greedy and they start ruining it
for
for the employees, and in the end, it ruins it for the customer.
Sure.
And in the end, it ruins it for the
Right. I'll refrain from going into the horror stories of working at Sam Ash towards the end there and what really went on. Maybe that's a whole other story because it is interesting.
Yeah.
But one of the beautiful things about that job, besides the fact that I was a guitar player, walked into that store because it was a new store, and I was in between jobs kind of. Yeah. And this guy's picking my brain, and he's asking all these questions, and I'm answering his question. I'm like, who is this guy? And finally he says, I'm the manager here. Would you like a job? And I'm
That's great.
Why not?
And you were in the keyboard department.
And that's what was cool. I said, I want to be in the keyboard department. Because guitars are guitar. I mean, I love guitars, but I wanted to learn about keyboards. So I got into the keyboard department. And
what you said right there is just key to who you are, though, man. I mean, I don't know anybody else doing a show like this, like with a green screen behind them.
Howard Stern started doing years ago, but he stole the idea from me.
But you know what I'm telling you, you're the type of guy who gets in there and is really into all that stuff.
I like having
fun. I admire that. It's really, I'm glad, when you told me about this show, I was like, I got to be on this. This is going to be cool.
See, that folk come on. Many more people.
I feel like Wayne's World here.
Where are they?
Where you got to have the screen that goes like
that. I should have some sound effect or something from Wayne's World, but
it's cool.
So that was your recollection of meeting you in Ash, and I don't remember that. And I had met
I did have long hair at the time.
That might be
and no facial hair. I couldn't grow facial hair.
I met so many people at that store that to this day they'll come Facebook friends. I'm like, where the heck do I know this person from? And they're like, oh, you sold me a keyboard at Sam Ash. Yeah. And I would sell pro recording gear too, which really pissed off the pro recording gear manager. Yeah. Because my rule was...
You've always been a friendly guy.
Well, here's the deal. Working in an environment like that, if you can't support it, don't sell it.
Yep.
If I can't support this $30,000 mixer, I got to hand it off to the guy that can support it.
Of
Because
course.
once it's sold, I want to support you on it,
Yep.
and that's where I had a good clientele.
Yep.
But met a lot of friends, lifelong friends there, and
Tolga worked there. Moon worked there.
Moon got to come on my show, Mike Rubin.
Yeah, Moon.
And Aaron Schewel, which I just saw Moon playing on a YouTube video with.
I've played on, I guess, all of her records. I don't know what she's doing right now, but I've known
I'm
her
talking
for
to
a
her
good
manager.
long
She's the
time.
first person I've had to go through a manager to
Who's her manager?
I won't drop the name on air, but
Okay.
I'll tell you off air.
That's fine. I didn't know she had management.
It's like you have to go through my manager.
She's-
So I called the guy up. I'm like, I've known her since she was like a little kid.
Oh,
Singing.
you did?
Yeah.
Because through Jody.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And,
Okay, so we have many different ways of knowing each other.
Right, and where I intimately got to know you and shake your hand and come to know you was probably just over a year ago at Tommy Grasso's
Tommy
house.
Grasso's house.
Good friend of mine who was on
Previous
the show
episode.
a couple episodes ago, and I don't know how you know Tommy. But that's the beauty of this small community of musicians.
Well, music, as I said, I was at a networking dinner, like all these corporate high rollers, and I happened to know the guy who was throwing it, and he wanted me in, and there were other musicians there, and so it's like all these corporate finance people buy and sell companies, a few musicians, one of some notoriety and a very sweet person, and everybody was really nice, made some new friends there. And but
I just got that.
What's that?
I just figured out what you were saying. It was like, we're not dropping names, I guess, here.
I don't know. You know, I
all good.
But anyway, so I go to this thing, and there's a round table introduction. My friend gives the names of the people and says, "Okay, tell us about yourself." So it comes around to me, and I say, "I got nothing to offer here other than I'm a musician." And I look around the room and I say, "Music brought me this. Other than my family and some friends, and I mean, there's plenty of things in life that come by, but man, I always think some of the best stuff. It all comes from music.
Totally.
I mean, all the friendships I've forged.
Yeah.
Just the neatest things. I mean, today I got to meet idols of mine. I mean, I met Rod Argent and Colin Blumstone of the Zombies, and I've been a Rod Argent fan since I was a little kid, and my brother had all the Argent
how'd you come
records.
to meet them? How's today?
They're playing the Basie right now in the Count Basie Theater, and they were doing a radio interview with my buddy Rich Robinson at Brookdale Radio, and my friend Stan.
And you just happened to stop by?
No, my friend Stan Steele. We both play at this place Yvonne's in Neptune, and Rich works there as a bartender, and so we all, we're all cool, and we're all cool with each other, and I guess Stan was talking to Rich, and Rich said this was going down. Stan told me, I'm like, can you ask Rich if we could be flies on the wall? And Rich, in his always magnanimous manner, was like, yeah, guys, come on down, hang out,
Nice. Nice.
So I got to talk shop with Rod, talk keyboard, and just Colin Blumstone, who's got to be approaching 70, if not 70, and still has the same voice he had when he was, 20 years old. Unbelievable.
Don't mind me while you're talking. I'm monitoring social media.
No,
people chiming in,
actually looking. I'm looking at all this because I just think it's really neat. He's got three screens and stuff all over the place.
I have tons of hats. I just keep changing hats.
You know what this kind of reminds me of, because I'm so enthralled by it? When I was a little kid, my parents worked at Bell Labs in Murray Hill. Actually, half of my family worked there. My mom was a cleaner. My dad worked in the sub-basements monitoring, the heating and air cooling. One of my brothers worked in one of the clean rooms and everything. The transistor was created there.
Right, a lot of stuff went down there, yeah.
And I think it was Building 9, which looked like something out of Star Wars.
I think the microwave oven was invented there by a guy who walked in front of an antenna with a chocolate bar in his pocket.
That's right.
And wondered why the chocolate bar melted in his pocket, and that's where they discovered.
And then wondered why he needed a hip replacement 6 months
and
after.
Left testicle melted away. And
oh, God.
Got to go to the social media here. So,
cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah, there's a number to call in and all that stuff.
Yes, I should put that up on the screen right now. Good, thank you for steering me straight.
Call us up, bust our chops. This is fun.
Yes, here comes, where is it?
Man, I wish I could get my keyboard room to look like the keyboard.
Well, speaking of the keyboard room, I did find a picture of your room, which we'll show later,
Probably an old one from my old. I think I know the picture you're talking about. Yeah,
Ed Sienna, Cynthia Grasso.
Hello.
Ed Sienna must be a friend of yours. Kevin Macmull.
Kevin, sure. My old coworker from IEEE.
Chiming in.
Well, hi guys. Nice to see you.
Ed Colton and John Graper are in the YouTube stream. Hello, Ed.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you guys for chiming in.
This is a hoot.
Yeah. So the phone line is up at the top of the screen is the phone number, my personal phone number. Use it respectfully and just give it out to girls. On the lower left-hand corner of your screen, which is over there somewhere, is my Skype number. You can Skype in, and we'll take those calls if you got questions for Arne. Or your name is interesting. What's your nationality? I meant to ask you that.
I'm Danish, Swedish, and my last name is German.
Arne Wendt.
Apparently, somebody did a little genealogy on us, and we were horse thieves out of Germany.
Here comes the first number call. Let's see. If I can make this work proper.
All right.
Hello. Oh, they hung up.
They'd like to know if...
they got scared. They
Are
bailed.
you happy with your heating company?
Yeah. So I got to watch that. Some solicitor's going to call him during the show, and that would be great because I'll bust his chops.
Oh, that'd be
classic.
You're on a live web stream.
I actually wanted to do a whole show about that. We're just going to call prank phone calls.
Back in the day when you could do that, one of my first keyboard, with my second keyboard.
Whoever you were, call back. The call dropped.
My second keyboard I paid for with my paper route money. Bought it from Arthur's in Greenbrook, the place where like everything was behind glass cases and you wrote down the catalog number and it came up on a conveyor belt.
Oh, jeez.
And I bought a Yamaha's version of the little sampler, the little Casio sampler. Everybody had the SK1.
Oh, yeah.
That's the Yamaha version of it. And I used to make so many prank phone calls. It was so much fun.
That's funny.
To be like 13 years old and like making your voice that was this high. Right. Sound like that.
I remember the prank phone call days. We did a lot of those.
Oh, yeah.
So you've played with a lot of people.
I have.
You are like the quintessential keyboard guy. And you play guitar. You do solo gigs around the area with keyboard and guitar, which is awesome. I've heard not a lot of your music, but a good sampling of it. And we did get the opportunity while we were setting up here just to fart around a little bit. We may or may not play music. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Be creative. I am a creative person. I call myself a glorified cover musician because, I don't have any, music under the name Arne Wendt really out there. I do lots of... If I have ideas, sometimes I'll throw them down, but I keep them to myself. Yeah. Or at some point, I want to put out something, and
I'll help you. And
thank you, I apprate that. Yeah, you're Mr. Entrepreneur. I like that.
Entrepreneurs make money.
Not necessarily.
All right. It takes 50 years, right?
It's something like that.
It'll be left in my legacy. But I understand you were a corporate guy before you got into music. I did a little homework on Arne.
Yeah. All right. So I graduate high school. I go to college for a couple years, and my rock and roll band gets picked up by Warner Brothers, and we get a publishing deal, which usually happens, which is they pay you money for half of the publishing rights of your music. And we got a bunch of money, and we all move in. At age 20, I moved into a rundown mansion not far from here in Seawarren, lived a rock and roll life, and I was like, all right, I can't afford to put myself through college, play in this band, and work a day. I just can't do all of it. And I'm like, this is rock and roll. I gotta get a day job. So I got a day job, and one thing leads to another, and years later I'm working at this place, the Institute of Electronic Engineers, which, while it was corporate, it was non-profit or not-for-profit. There's a slight distinction there. And it was a great place to work, but everybody there knew. They're like, Arne, what are you doing here? Just go play music. That's what you... Because I would come in all bleary-eyed, like from a gig. I never stopped playing. I always was playing. I was always recording. I did some cool gigs back then. I played with Noel Redding from the Jimi Hendrix Experience, his last gig in this country before he passed away.
Really?
I was recording a lot with my friend Anthony Kryzan, who is... One of my introductions to the Grasso family is Anthony Kryzan, who has a studio in the Grasso's big building in Raritan. Yeah.
Okay, I probably know.
Yeah. So I think I met Lenny through him, although I grew up in Bridgewater and Raritan is right next door, so chances are we met or would have met one way or another. But Anthony Kryzan was a big window to the world, to the musical world for me for a while, and for which I'm very thankful. He hooked me up with a lot of work, and he's just an amazing musician, amazing producer.
Awesome. There is so much talent in this state, in this tri-state area. It is amazing. And one of my prized possessions that goes back long before I even became a solo performer, back in my Navy days, and I have a box of cassette tapes of original music from guys like, Bumblefoot.
I remember that name.
Ron Fall playing with Guns N' Roses recently.
Oh,
and,
wow.
I got his demo tape. We got him into a Sam Ash Best Local Guitar Player contest. It was supposed to be of New Jersey. Okay. And we snuck him in. He was from Staten Island. All right, we got a call here. Let's see if we can field this call properly. All right. Hello, welcome from over there.
Hello.
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 How you doing?
We're doing great. Who are we talking to?
This is Sir Brave Todd Robbins.
Who is it?
Sir Brave Todd Robbins. You don't know the knight from the Holy Grail?
No, I'm culturally constipated when it comes to stuff like that.
He's a very valiant man. Wears a lot of chainmail, and I play with him.
What's happening, man?
It's Todd. It's my buddy Todd Robbins. What's up, brother?
How you doing, brother?
All right. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm watching you guys.
Awesome. Awesome. It's good to be watched.
Does my bald head have a nice sheen on it?
Oh, no. I wanted to go over some dates. You got your calendar?
Dude, I
got my book right here. Let's go.
Rod Argent and Colin Blumstone today, man. From the Zombies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was cool. We'll talk about that later. You see any bald eagles today? He's a birder and doesn't know it yet.
Wow.
No, I'm talking about you.
I have friends of mine that are birders.
Ask Arne about the decline in the chipmunk population.
Oh, yes.
Is that because of eagles?
It's because of me. We like to ride our bikes around Manasquan Reservoir. You ever been down there? It's beautiful.
Yeah.
5 mile loop.
Yeah.
That's where he always sees bald eagles because there's a couple of bald
they're
eagles
making a great
there.
comeback.
Yeah, they really are. But anyway, they're on top of the charts now, the bald eagles. Oh, I'm sorry. They're making a great comeback. All right, that's the only pun of the evening. That's it. And a poor one at that. So we're riding around, and I ran over a chipmunk.
Oh.
I mean, I didn't mean to, but it literally, of all the timing of the universal
I could share a story like that.
It ran under my bike tire. And the weird thing is, was it a day later we were biking there, and something else, we were biking past the same exact spot. Something else ran out in front of us, but didn't get hit or anything.
No fatalities.
I mean, the chipmunk did, we turned around. It did go off into the woods, so maybe it survived.
Oh, man.
I didn't even see it. Todd saw it because he was riding behind me.
I catch a baby rabbit in my yard one time, little tiny baby rabbit. And we have a lot of feral cats around here, and I know the cats are attacking the rabbits. So I get this rabbit, I bring it inside, I actually get it eating lettuce out of my hand and stuff. Yeah. I figure I'm going to do the right thing, right? On my way to a gig, I got in the cage, I'm going up the parkway where you're going up there, like exit 135, there's woods and a creek and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I pull over on the side of the parkway,
to let it go.
Walk 50 yards, flashes on my van. I walk over, I open this cage. The rabbit runs out of the cage, turns around, runs through my legs, runs under my van, across 4 lanes of parkway traffic, hits the median and starts running south. I was like, good luck, dude.
Oh, my God. That's a rabbit with a death wish.
So, Todd?
Yeah, this is Todd.
Todd, you're a musician as well?
I am.
And a good one. And a graphic artist.
On occasion.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a great time together. His repertoire is really cool, off the beaten path, and people love it.
You do covers, originals, or?
All covers.
All covers?
Yeah.
Well, hey.
All covers.
He's like me. I think he's written a bunch of originals and just kind of keeps them.
We got to bust you guys out. Get you on here. You can showcase your originals, man. We'll keep
Someday
it all.
I'll come back here.
And we'll keep it all away from the record companies, man. No, they're not going to get any of it.
They don't really they won't exist by that point anyway.
That's a whole other show about the whole streaming thing. I'll have to tell you a story about that. I found a CD that I produced a long time ago with Jody. It's on Spotify, iTunes. I didn't authorize it to go on any of that, which I found out later I did because in the fine print of the manufacturer, they had a...
Well, a lot of bands are finding their stuff on YouTube, and they're like,
what's it called? An exclusive distribution license for perpetuity? something like that. Oh, I think we got a. Was that Skype?
That was Skype. It's a Carol Burnett sound. Boo, whoop.
Oh man, we're gonna try to do a Skype call and a phone call at the same time.
Well, I'll leave you boys to it. Get hold of me tomorrow, brother.
Will do, man. Will do, Todd. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you so much for calling in, man.
Nice meeting you.
Come on out to a gig. FloydWebb.com is my schedule. Come out, introduce yourself, and bring an instrument, sit in, and it's all about music, man.
Will do, man.
Cool, man. Thanks for calling.
Have a good one.
Enjoy. Peace.
Bye.
All right, moving along.
Skype.
Nice. I heard Skype chirp,
Yep, me
but
too.
I don't see anything going on here. So,
that might have been a message that comes in on Skype, like a text message.
Yeah. We're not going to do.
Is everybody having a good time watching us deal with technicalities?
Right. I got so much crap here on my computer. Like, here, well, let's go to another.
Yeah, I guess we should start talking more about music, right? As opposed to releasing.
Why are all my graphics got this stupid green thing in the middle? Because I set up the lighting when we're.
I like it. It's the ectoplasm from Ghostbusters. It's hanging out.
But
it's a spirit who's watching us.
Arne and I, we started talking about the show. I call him up. Hey, man, you want to be on my show? He's like, sure. We're on the phone for 3 hours. We did three full shows.
Yeah,
if I would have recorded that phone call, man, we went over so much stuff.
But we were telling stories, some of them
we can't tell on the air, which are the good stories.
Yeah.
There's a great overlapping of interesting stories between Arne and myself that,
Can't name names.
Right. Can't name names, can't name occurrences. Some things happen in this business that are better left happening again. If you're lucky.
No,
right?
they happen anyway.
Right.
There's always people getting over on people, but for the most part, who said what was the quote about the he doesn't say the industry, but it's like it's a foul industry filled with deceit and lies and snakes in the grass. And then there's a bad side to the music industry.
I heard that quote.
Like that. Yeah. I forgot who said that.
So Arne programs keyboards as well. He's got this fine piece of technology here, which I've always wanted one of these. This is awesome. We both have a love of keyboards, and that was one of the cool things for me working in Sam Ash. And I was fortunate where I was doing really great as a salesman, and they had manufacturers' incentives where if I sold so many of a keyboard, I'd get one for free, and I did really good. I had Sonic keyboards and rolling keyboards. And I love this technology because it's ear candy.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, and the thing is it looks like very confusing.
Because it is.
Well, it is, but I was
you
raised.
You can fly a jet if you know the right things to push.
I was raised, doing analog synthesis and learning all about that stuff, and so I look at knobs. I love knobs. I like real time control.
Me too.
I guess it goes back to when you're a kid and you see The Wizard of Oz and you see the guy controlling.
Pay
the
no
weather
attention to
with
the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, and
I did see that movie,
and I had dreams about being able to do that sort of stuff, and then one of my brothers was big into synthesizers and. And he was always soldering in the basement, and he built on a piece of breadboard. He built an oscillator, which you plugged a 9-volt into the synth, and the 9-volt was hanging from the breadboard, and a little speaker, and then just this little knob that goes.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the basis of synthesis. Sound for synthesis is an oscillator.
Subtractive synthesis at the least.
And if you're lucky, you get 2 or 3 oscillators. Oscillators can modulate filters. And,
it's cool.
It is so cool.
If you think it's cool, I think it's cool.
When I was in the Navy, again, I spent a lot of time at sea. Bought my first keyboard. I bought a Roland Juno 108, which I still have in my studio. It's immaculate. And bought a little
106
series of books. Juno 106. Yes, I was just testing it.
Yeah.
This guy's good. And I bought like this little synthesis, ADSR, attack K sustain release, learn synthesis, and it's all the same. I mean, it's a signal flow.
But the thing about it, the first synths that Bob Moog and the big pioneers built were called they were modular, and they looked like telephone switchboards.
All right, here you go. You brought me into it here.
All right.
Some pictures of Arne here. He's talking modular. This is the keyboard he has now.
Yeah.
This is Arne when he's retired. When he retires,
who is that?
I have no idea. I'm wondering if it's St. Patrick's Cathedral. But look at the size of that.
Yeah. That's insane. And there,
that's Keith, part of Keith Emerson's rig right there. So when he's talking modular, this is what he's talking about.
Keith Emerson.
And I did find a picture of Arne's room. Here's his bedroom.
Yeah, right.
So this is what it used to be, right? Walls. Like it's like the first computer.
Well, it was switchboards because what they do, they build these modules. Like you know what an oscillator is, I just told you. Then there's things that take that oscillator and whatever pitch it is and make and shape it. Like, all right, I'll do it on this right here. I'll start with
modulator.
All right, wait, let me turn off all the effects and turn off up there. All right, hold on a second. Let me hit synth and sound initial. All right.
I might have to bring.
You might have to bring my sound up.
No, I want to bring the camera back in.
Okay. All right, so this right here, I'm playing middle E, and what you're hearing is a saw wave. If you looked at it on an oscilloscope, it would go like that. Yep, saw. Kind of boring sounding. So what you can do is put it, that's a single oscillator, and you put it through a filter, and you can go like this. You could go... And this is known as a
sweep filter.
Yep, and it's a low pass filter, and this is the resonance that makes it go like all sorts.
So that is a fundamental building block right there.
Yep, and and this is a synthesizer that simulates what the old things did, because they all did it with discrete analog components and stuff, and then it went. I hope I'm not boring anybody to tears, but
it's not.
We can go on to telling stories about
it is
people
geeky,
we've met in life.
But I did do a little homework and found this online.
You can do a lot of cool stuff with it, like.
Check this out. I found this online. This is Arne doing some online seminars.
This is the ARP Odyssey. Let me bring this down here.
That's the second oscillator.
Opening and closing the filter. Sequential circuits, Prophet 5, a Rev 3.
That's funny.
I mean, how many hours can we sit in our rooms and just play with this stuff and create these sounds?
Oh, listen to that sound. I mean, that's just huge.
Where I turn the glide up.
And then watch this.
We're in unison mode. Now watch this. Mini mode Voyager.
All right. I love this. Watch when he goes to the XY pad.
You could almost do like Indian raga type stuff with the synth doing this.
What a great sound.
But then things get freaky when I start touching the XY pad.
Get freaky on that XY pad, man. That's cool.
You know what's sad? I just sent that synth out to be totally refurbished, and I don't think I saved those sounds that I made on it.
But is there a way to how would you save them back then?
Well, that's that's a modern synth. I mean, that came out 14 years ago, and so you could send a MIDI file. But the way I look at it sometimes is, I'll just program another sound,
right?
Because with those you can program such endless things. So that video there is a friend of mine, Adam Small, has this website called My Music Masterclass, where he gets he started with friends like me, but he went on and got
hey, will you do a show for me? And
jazz titans and like all these amazing well-known musicians to give master classes on whatever it is. I mean, everything from teaching piano, drums, or esoteric business and music law stuff, all sorts of stuff. And I did one on analog synthesizers because I happen to own a bunch of them and I know about them. And
do you have a room full of synths at home?
As many as I can fit in one
jokingly,
place.
As I showed that
spilling out into other areas.
Yeah, I've got a pretty good collection too.
Yeah. And it's sad because as much as I love all of them, I have to work for a living, and when I'm working, I have to use what I use. And first and foremost, this is everywhere I am. Any gig I play, this is at it.
That's the workhorse.
Any studio session, everything. I mean, I was recommending this to Rod Argent today because he was telling me how he might be looking at a new keyboard, and I told him I actually had the gall to give him my business card and say,
what do you mean?
If you have any...
Right.
I said, I hope I'm not being too forward.
You're consulting.
Rod Argent, man. If I could help Rod Argent out, that'd be so cool, you know?
Never underestimate yourself. No, never sell yourself short, right? Shoot for the moon.
Oh, what the heck? What's the worst that happens? He loses my business card,
right.
You know? So that was cool. I did meet Keith Emerson a few years ago.
Did you?
It was kind of a funny story. So Bernie Worrell, my dear friend, who is a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, he played keyboards on Stop Making Sense to Talking Heads. You could see him on that concert, and a lot of people around here know him because he was born and raised in Plainfield. Anyway, so he also played in Parliament Funkadelic and wrote their famous hit Flashlight, which is like mini Moog bass and all that. So he was known as like a synth guru and a musical genius, which he is. Anyway, so somewhere back when I got we were talking about the Moog synth with the XY pad that I was playing. I had gotten that because they were just reissuing it, and I was like, I had my day job, and I was like, I got to get this. It was like thousands of dollars. I'm like, I got to get it. So I got it, and the cool thing about that is that I had it before a lot of people, before they start, they say they're making a limited run, and then they go and keep producing. I'm like, thanks. So I thought I was making an investment here, and
then they mass produce
it. Yeah. But anyway, I was one of the early people to have it. And because of that, I got to do a few cool things. Like Herb Deutsch gave, who, if it weren't for Herb Deutsch, synthesizers might have never had keyboards attached to them. He's the one who said to Bob Moog when Bob was making this stuff, hey, you got a lot of control here. Why don't we attach it to can you make it work with a piano keyboard? It's so cool. Yeah, so... and Herb gave a lecture on the era and the importance of the Moog synthesizer. And he had his old Moog synthesizer, and I brought my new one. And he actually had me give a bit, because I knew so much of the history of it. We both talked. It was real cool. And Bernie was there, and Bernie asked me, hey, Moog wants to give me one of their new synthesizers or give them a good deal, but they want me to program Bernie Worrell sounds. Could you help me with that? And I was like, yeah, since I have the new one, I'll show you how to do it. And we knew each other, but we met each other before that, come to think of it. But we became really tight then. And because of the work I did with him, I ended up going to the first Moog Fest. And I met Bob Moog that night. I met Rick Wakeman that night. Wow. And I talked with Rick for a while. He turned 55 that night. They had a birthday cake. I'm backstage eating a piece of his birthday cake, talking to Rick Wakeman.
Nice.
It blew my mind. Then
I'll never forget being a kid with headphones on, listening to
Close to the Edge.
No. Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Oh yeah,
that was heavy keyboards.
I mean, he's amazing, and he's as nice, and he's a comedian. He's hilarious. He's a very funny man. So I'm hanging backstage at this festival, and I had to use the bathroom. And the only bathroom backstage was in the green room. So I'm like, all right, I'll go in the green room. I walk into the green room. Who's there? Warming up on a keyboard that's unplugged, or maybe he had headphones. He didn't have headphones on, but he's just Keith, only person in the room, Keith Emerson.
Wow. And
I mean, when I was 4 years old, I heard Lucky Man for the first time, and I think that's why I play keyboards today, is because that sound just blew my mind.
I would do it with you right now, except they're going to flag us for copyright.
Yeah, we can't do it.
Bastards.
But I could play the sound, probably.
Right. With that,
But so I'm backstage, and I'm like, do I say hello to Keith? Do I do it? I was like, no, he's warming up. I better leave him alone. But I ended up shaking his hand later and telling him how much he means to me. So here's the Lucky Man's
oh, what a lucky man he was. No copyright infringement on that. No. We get 8 bars, right?
Yeah, I think we get something like half a minute or something.
So that is a cool sounding keyboard. We were messing around on setup. I don't know if we should try a song.
We could do that, or
do them just for the hell of it.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody has any questions they want to ask. Probably everybody tuned in and knows everything about me anyway. So, but if you
Susan LaFauci, hello Sue. We're trying to get
local Susie.
We're trying to get her on the show, but again, we're trying to stay away from covers. I'd love to have Susan on the show. She has a wonderful voice, a wonderful person. So maybe we just have to write some music and
there you go.
Come in and do it. There's the Skype. I don't even know how to answer this. Let's see.
The middle button.
The middle button. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
You're not getting cameras.
Susie,
call us again.
Local Susie, what's up?
Hi, Arne.
How are you?
I'm good. You guys you sound great. It's a lot of fun watching.
But you're no fun on Skype because she does you might as well just have called on the phone. She won't put the camera on. Come on. You got to Skype in so the world can see you.
I'm not camera ready.
You're not camera ready. So, I don't know what that's your initials up there.
Initials.
Your initials.
Well, I guess without the L in it.
Because it always drops the L-A because there's a space.
If she was Skyping for real, we'd see her face there, so that lets me practice the call. But since you're not, I'm going back to the audience and we can talk. How are you? I missed you off the hook the other night.
I know. I'm sorry.
Right?
I actually like hopped all over the place, and yeah,
it's a busy life.
This is like twice now that I haven't seen you down there.
That's
I will
all
get
right.
there on your next one.
And I understand you and Tommy had to kick off the summer gig there together, which sounds really nice.
Yeah, we did. We had our first gig together, and it went really, really well. So.
Awesome. We should do a trio sometime.
A lot of fun.
Or a quattro.
A quartet. That's
a quattro.
A quattro. An Audi quattro.
An Arne quattro.
An Arne. There you go. Nice. Second pun of the show. I think we've reached our limit.
All right, thank God it's not a comedy show. Thank God we have real day jobs.
Well, I'm just a glorified cover musician myself.
There you go.
No, you're not. No, you're not. And the reason why I was calling in and that little beep on the Skype before was me. I wanted to hear one of Arne's originals.
She's prank Skyping us.
You wanted to hear one of my originals?
Yeah.
I don't know that I have one to play. No, I don't. You know, anytime I ever tried to write lyrics, I'd look back at it and I'd be like,
lyrics are the tough part for me too. I could write music all day long. Yeah. Just jamming on something. But once it comes to lyrics and you're, oh my God, I have something to say or it should be relevant,
Yeah, I guess they got to flow out of you. Susie just apparently has a knack for it because she wrote this. I helped her put chords under a song she wrote, and it's just a really nice song.
That's awesome.
Very.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did a wonderful thing, and the lyrics were heartfelt. There was nothing pretentious about it, and because there's such a fine line you walk with lyrics, and you can. The funny thing is that line can take you anywhere, right. But it is a fine line to walk. I mean,
and we talked about that when Tommy was on the show. His mother-in-law called in and wanted to know what the writing process involved, as far as where do you get your ideas, your inspiration from. And there was that fine line we were talking about where something is heartfelt or experienced, or you get these cats that are just making it up.
They're doing a great job with it.
Like perfect example is Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull, which is one of my idols.
Yeah.
This guy was telling stories about stuff that never, and you believe him.
I'm just gonna make weird noises because we got the man from the future behind us.
That's right.
Yeah, I gotta say, Lloyd, that dude's a little creepy standing behind.
I like it.
Right over Arne's shoulder, I feel like he's gonna attack him or something.
He's the bouncer.
Oh.
But we should definitely get together and do some stuff and put a show together to come in here. Originals and just hanging out.
I would love to.
I've yet to get 3 people in here. It's a little tight squeezing 2, but we will do it because we got to do it. We got to do it.
I absolutely will do it. So I do have a question for Arne though.
Sure, Susie, go for it.
Okay. So, you play a lot of local places, but you also have had the experience of playing large stadiums with some of these other, guys that you play with. Mm-hmm. And so I'm sure what's the major, I guess, differences between those different kinds of experiences, and what do you prefer as a musician?
Besides the money?
Yeah, those gigs pay better. It's all My friend wrote a great song. I Like It All. It's a great song. My friend Greg DeJazy wrote this. And I kind of feel that way because each one is a different experience. Of course, anybody can get a bar gig, play a bar gig, blah, blah, blah. You're very blessed to be on a stage in an arena or stadium or wherever on a big stage playing for anywhere from 1,000 to, I think the highest might have been 32,000 people I played for once.
Nice.
And it's an honor, and it's really neat, and it can be scary. But it's all different. I mean, I would imagine if I did it a lot, I would tell you. I remember the Stones. They did that. What was that tour they did like 10 years ago? Broke Down tour. Something where they just wanted to play smaller venues because there can be a great disconnect when you're on these big stages and you can't really interact with an audience,
Right.
So I've only done it maybe more than a handful of times, but it's such a cool, especially when they're all singing along. It's mind blowing. Or when they all get out their little cell phone lighters. Back in the day, they used real lighters. You're in a dark arena. I remember being in Vegas with John, and we're in an enclosed arena and we're playing, and they break out the cell phone lighters, and it's just, I mean, you got a job to do, you got to concentrate, right. But you still just want to take like a few minutes and just look at it. Wow, it's like a man-made universe.
Yeah, it's really bizarre, right?
It's really cool.
I don't know what the largest audience I ever played with, but I think, in my answer to that question is the audience really does make the gig. You could be at a place with a huge audience and they're just dry and they're disconnected and it's just like,
I've been there.
Or you could be there with a couple dozen people, whatever, and it's just on fire.
Yeah.
So it really is the audience that, as a musician, feeds us energy.
I always am thankful for the people who come out, the people who support, and hopefully they're it's usually they're very thankful, and it's just a beautiful marriage or symbiosis or whatever you want to call it. Spread the
love, man. That's what we're trying to do here from over there, is just keep music happening. And
I think what you do is very cool, and I appreciate the backdrop. There's not all those keyboards really aren't there, Susie. Only this one right here.
She's seeing this over here. She's not seeing that.
Oh, she's not seeing that?
No.
Oh, you got to put that on there.
No, I can see the backdrop with the fans.
Right. Yeah. He's talking about this.
Oh, the fans. Oh, that's what she's seeing now. Man, this is cool what he does. Oh, and I'm going back to a story I never finished. So Bell Labs Murray Hill had this Building 9, which looked like Darth Vader or something. It was really interesting. And my parents would take me there, and on either alcove, on either side of the reception area, were these little scientific displays. Like, you could go into a booth and talk on a phone and look at a TV camera, and you could see the person in the booth next to you while talking to them, which was, in 1977, amazing. And then there was a or a scale model, or I think to full scale model of the Telstar satellite in there, and and it was such a cool place.
That's the picture of the keyboards he's talking about.
That was pretty cool.
Is that the one? Where am I?
Over here.
Oh no, I was talking about the one on that screen, on the other screen, to your left.
Oh, that's 30 seconds ago on the stream. Don't look at that one. That'll screw you up. But
I'm down with anything. It's all good.
It's all good.
Keep it coming, man. Keep it coming.
There's another corner of Arne's room.
Yeah. Isn't that a scary sound? It almost sounds like a Mellotron choir.
There are some cool sounds in that board, man.
I love this stuff.
So let's try a song for the hell of it.
First, I got to find that sound.
Susie, you want to sing via Skype?
What are you singing?
I wonder if that would work, if there'd be a delay or how to.
I don't know. Oh, here's that sound. Isn't that freaky?
You ever got into doing any kind of movie soundtrack stuff?
I did what did I do?
Or jingles? Or?
Yes, I've done a few of those. As a matter of fact, I did a jingle for Seaside Heights right before. Back in, I don't know,
Pre-Sandy?
6-7 years ago,
Pre-Sandy.
I did a jingle, the music part of the jingle for Seaside Heights. They were advertising, come back to Seaside Heights, it's a family place. And I wrote this jingle, and they loved it. I mixed it in my own little computer, and they loved it. But the best part is they're advertising this, and it was right before Jersey Shore, the show dropped.
Oh, God, yeah.
And it just brought Seaside right back down to the lowest common denominator. So that was fun. I did one for Casino Pier there that led to that one. I've done jingles, and I even, my friend was doing a soundtrack to an independent movie, and I played on the soundtrack, and because I know I can do so many ethereal things,
right.
And that's, it's all about texture, especially in that sort of world.
Yeah.
A lot of the prog guys, I mean, that's what Keith Emerson was doing in the 80s, was movie soundtracks. So that's what Rod Argent, who I just met today, is doing in that, all those, they were especially using this sound right here, all over the place. So that's what I do. I do a little bit of everything. It's fun.
It's very limited on the guitar. It's like, here's a song I learned in jail.
Oh, come on. That's poor humor.
We digress.
Yes, very much. All right, so we're playing one of your songs?
We could try that.
All right, sure.
You hang in there with us, Susie?
I'm still here.
All right, cool.
You had that kind of
pedal steel.
lap steel thing going on.
Everybody loves that, right, Susie? Everybody loves that sound.
Oh, absolutely. I love it.
It's a little Hawaiian. I need to come up with much more music. This is a song that I've never played publicly, but we started jamming on it when we were setting up, so I'm going to do it. And it's kind of a dark song. I wrote it after 9/11, right after 9/11, and I guess that had moved me enough to write songs. But don't let the title...
That just shut me right up.
Well,
I might have been writing songs before that for all I know.
The title of this is Human Remains.
Oh.
Not in the fact of...
Yeah.
This is like after the worst that can happen to us, the human being, we remain. And that's what carries us through any of that tragic stuff is humanity and getting together. And anyway.
Don't let the media or the politicians or the corporations or the world make you feel disconnected from other people, because we are connected. And that's the beauty of stuff like this, is we're all connected.
Yes.
Facebook, while it's a black hole, is a wonderful thing because it connects people.
Yep.
Don't be one of those people that hides behind your computer screen and spills negativity all over the internet. Don't do it.
Amen.
Well,
there's
it's
about positivity.
This is, in the gist of things, this is a positive song, even though it's a little dark, and I've never done it publicly, ever done it at all.
Don't mess it up. Whatever you do, don't mess it up.
At least if I mess it up, nobody will know, because I never did it publicly. It's like,
you'll see me give you a look, and everybody will know then.
No, he's never done this song with me either, so this is just goes to show to the professionals of Arne here how he
don't even tell me the chords.
He's not. He doesn't even know the chords. I'm going to mute our lavaliers here. So we're just in here.
I don't need.
Here we go. This is called Human Remains. Struggle through the night to the light of day. There's barely a hope in sight, but you find hope anyway. And you're feeling unattached, but still you can't let go of what your eyes have seen, of what you know. Human remains. Humans remain. Heavy, the scars run deep. For every soul I weep. It's a struggle all the time. Still I listen, still I see. I reach down deep inside of me, 'cause I know that I will find human remains scattered all around us. Human remains. Just listen for the sound of human remains. These humans remain. The human spirit shall survive, and hope in love will never die.
loved ones if we try. And every hour that I'm alive, I'm thankful for each moment that goes by. And when my final day arrives and my soul is lifted to the sky, human remains, they're gathered all around us. Human remains, just listen for the sound of human remains as humans remain. Our humans remain. Human remain.
And that's that. First time ever.
Very
Thank you, my
sweet.
friend.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
It's doing that thing again.
That
Or just kind of
lingering sound.
Yeah, I
That's-
kind of
that's-
dig that. I just it's like a
It's got
Very
a mind. It's the
interesting.
human remains, the Nord kind of.
yeah, it's remaining. All right, I got to make something with this.
It sounds cool as hell. So what's happening here is when we were setting up, Arne was playing with his keyboard, and he would stop playing, and these sounds would linger on, and he can't figure out where they're coming from. It's part of the
Ghost in the machine.
being possessed. I'm gonna get rid of this mic. I love that. Check the social
Actually,
media.
you know what's neat. This kind of reminds me of "Shine On You Crazy Diamond," and you know how that was recorded. The beginning, all that chord was all wine glasses that they were rubbing the rims of.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, I have a sample for that. Not for that song, but I have a wine glass sample.
Is that a G?
I don't. It's a E, I think.
Bring it up to G. Can you bring it up to G?
No, I cannot actually. But I changed sounds anyway, so now I'm in G.
Four of the coolest notes ever in rock and roll.
Oh, all right, we're gonna do it. All right, hold on, let me find it.
We're gonna get flagged. We're gonna get flagged.
What's what? There's the wine glasses sound. No, I got it. Hold on. All right, so now I'm gonna create a sound out of the blue. I have that sound just. Well, I thought I had
Lingering?
it lingered. Hold on, I gotta do it again. Alright, so that's gonna just stay there. Or so I thought. Alright, so I used to be able to play the keyboard and alright, now it'll stay. There we go. Alright, now I'm gonna create a sound. Keep going. Alright, hold on. Just keep that going. Ghost in the Machine, what is up? Oh, here we are.
I think that's as far as we take it.
do. Now you gotta let me do the high guitar part. Oh. Sometimes there's too much to do on this thing. I still got that one chord going.
Remember when you were young, like the sun, shine on, you crazy diamond, threatened by shadows at night, exposed in the light. Shine on, you crazy diamond. You were caught in the crossfire, slide of the storm, blowing the steel breeze. Come on, you tender, you seal laughter. Come on, you changer, you legend, you martyr and shine.
All right. Anyway, so you get the point. So what do you think? Have you heard from any lawyers yet?
Oh, and sadly,
If we haven't chased them away yet, we've chased them away now.
sadly, that's going to flag the whole stream. I'm going to get a copyright infringement, and they're going to flag my stream. And then it's going to take a month for me to repost it because that's what YouTube does. But would you believe that's an hour?
You're kidding me.
Right? How insane is that?
We didn't even really tell too many stories, did we?
We can go a little longer.
Oh, I don't care. We don't. Is everybody happy? Whoever's there? If
Yeah,
you're
who's happy?
happy,
Let's
I'm
see.
happy.
I got Anthony Crossdale. Hooray, he made it.
Hey.
This is live and fab.
How you guys doing?
He's got to find a Bic lighter. He's looking a real Bic lighter. But yeah, that's an hour, man. It goes too fast. We got like 2 minutes. Anybody wants to call in? Or thank you, Susie. She hung up during the.
Take care, Susie.
Yeah, we will see you out about.
Thank you.
So, there will be no stream happening on Memorial Day. I won't be streaming. I need more guests. I'd really like to thank my friend Arne Wendt for coming out.
Glad to be here, brother.
Thank you, my friend.
We're just goofing. We're
Right.
just having a good time.
The musical road of possibilities is wide open in front of us.
And for everybody else too.
Yes. Come out, see
It's
us
a beautiful
live.
thing. Music's a beautiful thing. You can take as much as you want. You can add. You can give. That's art for you. Man.
Yep. Anything you want to plug?
Are you saying I need plugs? Look me up on Facebook, Arne Wendt, ARNEWENDT, and please come out, support me, support my friends. You probably already do, and we are very thankful for that because this is how I make a living.
Yes.
And I plan to keep doing it as long as I can. So, thank you.
Cross-reference our friend lists,
Yeah.
So that's how we build an audience. I'm
Yes.
trying to build a big audience with this, and I'll continue to do these live shows as long as I can, and we will be out in the public doing live stuff, which is really where we need you people to come out and see us and hang with us because we get lonely out there.
Yeah. Well, let's see. All right. This week, I'm at the Count Basie Thursday with Mr. Pat Guadagno and a whole cast of fantastic musicians playing the music of Bob Dylan.
That's right. It's his birthday today.
Yeah.
75?
Something like that.
I think so, yeah.
And every Sunday this summer with Bob Bandiera at the inimitable Columns in Avon. And, still doing solo gigs, duo gigs, all sorts of stuff. Variety is the spice of life, and I have it. I play with everybody. It's great. So thanks for watching.
Yes, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys again. Peace out. Thank you. See if I can do this proper.
Should I make a weird sound at the end?
Sure.
Here? All right, hold on. Let's turn the reverb all the way up. Everything's all the way up here. Yep, all right. That's good enough. That was funny. You got a stage pissing some. Oh, I was gonna say you should.